Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mike Brennan here at the National Hurricane Center. It's 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, June 29th. We're coming on this afternoon with a very dangerous situation that's unfolding for the Windward Islands, places like Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, with Hurricane Beryl, which has just become a hurricane this afternoon, expected to quickly intensify and be a major hurricane as it moves through the Windward Islands late tomorrow night and early Monday. So we've got about another day to get ready for this dangerous storm, dangerous hurricane force winds, the eye wall of a major hurricane passing somewhere through the Windward Islands as we go from Sunday night into Monday morning, the potential for life-threatening storm surge. So we're going to walk through all those hazards here. Here we're looking at the big picture. Here you can see Hurricane Beryl has rapidly strengthened. Remember, this time yesterday, we just had the formation of Tropical Depression 2. Now it's a hurricane with maximum sustained winds 75 miles per hour. It's centered just over 700 miles to the east-southeast of Barbados here in the Windward Islands, moving very quickly toward the west at 22 miles per hour. So it's going to be approaching the Windward Islands very quickly through the night tonight, during the day Sunday, and into Sunday night and Monday. So as we zoom in, we'll take a closer look. You can see the intense thunderstorm activity developing here. We've seen some microwave satellite imagery showing an eye wall developing underneath this high cloud canopy. So we are seeing Beryl continue to quickly strengthen today, and it's in a very favorable environment with very warm waters, very low vertical wind shear, expecting those intensification trends to continue. Let's take a look at the key messages here. These are the two or three most important points we want to take away with Beryl tonight. Beryl is expected to be a dangerous major hurricane when it moves through the Windward Islands late Sunday night or Monday, bringing potentially destructive hurricane force winds in the eye wall, life-threatening storm surge. We have hurricane watches and warnings in effect for the Windward Islands. We'll talk about those more in just a minute. The potential for heavy rainfall and localized flooding across portions of the Windward Islands as well as Beryl moves through. And then farther downstream, Beryl is going to continue to be a hurricane as it moves through across the Caribbean Sea as we go through the early to middle portions of next week, and interest in places like Jamaica, Hispaniola, Cuba, even the Yucatan Peninsula will want to monitor the progress of Beryl through the next several days. Here's what we're looking at in watches and warnings right now. We have a hurricane warning that's been issued for Barbados. We have a hurricane watch in effect for St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, down to Grenada. Everywhere in this hurricane watch and warning area is at risk of the eye wall of a major hurricane moving through that region tomorrow night and early Monday. Also at risk of that life-threatening storm surge. We could see surge as high as 5 to 7 feet above normal tide levels, with the addition of destructive wave action on top of that storm surge. So if you live in Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, the Grenadines, Grenada, listen to the advice from your local officials. You still have the rest of the night tonight and much of the day Sunday and Sunday evening to get ready. The arrival time of those tropical storm force winds is going to be during the evening hours on Barbados tomorrow night, and early into the overnight and early morning hours in the rest of the Windward Island chain. And we could see tropical storm conditions farther to the north and south, but we're most concerned about those islands under those hurricane watches and warnings. The risk of hurricane force winds is generally roughly equal in places like Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, down to Grenada. So everybody in those areas needs to prepare as if you're going to experience the core of a major hurricane. And we look under the rainfall forecast, again, widespread amounts of 3 to 6 inches in portions of Barbados and the Windward Islands, which could produce localized flooding, especially in mountainous areas. We zoom out a little bit, take a look at the larger picture of what we expect Beryl to do as we go through the week next week. Beryl is expected to become a major hurricane by the overnight hours tomorrow night and into Monday, continue as a major hurricane into the eastern Caribbean, passing relatively far to the south of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. Could see some enhanced rainfall there, and then continue west-northwestward to westward across the central and northwestern Caribbean, perhaps moving close to the portions of Hispaniola, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica, portions of Cuba as we go from Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. So interest in those areas, we'll want to pay close attention to the progress of Beryl over the next several days. We are going to have both the Air Force Reserve and NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft flying into Beryl early Sunday morning, give us a better idea of the intensity and the size, structure, and motion of the hurricane. They'll be able to use to refine our forecast and information about those hazards as we head through the rest of the weekend and into early next week. Now, that's not all we have going on across the tropics. Unfortunately, in the Atlantic, it's still a couple areas we're watching. One is a broad area of low pressure here over the Yucatan Peninsula. that has a 50% chance of becoming a tropical depression as it moves into the southern Gulf of Mexico over the next day or so. This system's going to emerge out here in the southern Gulf and then move towards the western Gulf Coast to the coast of Mexico here during the day on Sunday. We could see a short-lived tropical depression or even tropical storm form, but the main impact from this system is going to be that heavy rainfall as it moves from the Yucatan into Mexico. Otherwise, we are also looking at a broad area of low pressure that's formed out here in the eastern tropical Atlantic, and that system, as I go back to the outlook here, has a 30% chance of becoming a tropical depression or tropical storm over the next 2 days, but a 70% chance, a high chance of formation of becoming a tropical depression or tropical storm as it moves quickly across the tropical Atlantic. It could reach the Windward Islands, the Lesser Antilles, later next week. So this will be something we'll want to watch after Beryl moves out. We could be looking at another system approaching the islands there. So again, just a reminder, the key messages for Beryl were the concern of a major hurricane impacting Barbados, the Windward Island chain, as we go from Sunday night into Monday. With the potential for destructive hurricane force winds, life-threatening storm surge inundation. So folks in those islands, please prepare. Please listen to any advice that you're given by your local government officials. And stay tuned to hurricanes.gov for more information as we go throughout the rest of the weekend and into early next week. I'm Mike Brennan here at the National Hurricane Center.